really shake things up here and just make this north side worried at the start of the series. That is where we can see Endpoint really come to their true colors. They will take the knife round as well, so they'll get the CT-sided start or the choice to make it. That's exactly what they should be going for. But they do have that looming loss over their head. You know, playing Vertigo twice against this side, losing it twice is going to take its toll. But Endpoint have been on that steady up and up. If there's anything from this squad that we know, it's that they are improving at least week by week. They've not dropped heavily in ranking in terms of gaining points and then losing them quickly on the HLTV rankings. They are on a steady climb, which does show consistency. So they're improving. It's just down to what North can do if they can convincingly win that 2-0 series again. And I feel like going up against Havu in that decider game might not be too much of an issue, but I'm glad that we see Vertigo, or at least I'm glad that we see Endpoint's map pick first, because that does set the tone of the series here.
Oh, that definitely does, indeed. And well, the pistol, we will be seeing it start momentarily, so don't worry, folks, we haven't missed it. But as you said, you bring up a good point with Endpoint. And yeah, that sounds as a pun, but trust me, it isn't. Basically, with their performance within the last few weeks, and you know, they've improved since day one, really. Every single time we see them play, they seem to be getting better and better hang of how to deal with with obviously stronger opponents, and above all else, I think they're definitely getting a hang of each other. They're starting to, you know, really set into this lineup that really are, you know, being able to work with one another and support one another continuously, and something that is very hard to achieve, no matter how long of a line or how lengthy of a lineup it might have been. In any case, the pistol is live, ladies and gents. Let's see how it goes, as Endpoint will be holding the line through the CT side. AZ already defending, though, as he's able to keep up the pace. Christo finds the second, as Thomas with the dualies. Oh boy, Thomas. That is actually still a bit of a saving grace, as now at least a 2-on-2 ensues.
One will go down fairly safely. Gade going to be holding the angle. Beautiful. Nade does not get the job done, but Gade, great tap. Second for him as well. North already off to a great start. Pistol round in their back pocket. Thomas on those dualies. He tried it. He got decent damage done, but unfortunately wasn't enough to win the round itself. North here, already putting a victory under their belt. Force buy from Endpoint, as to be expected. Scout and a UMP in Thomas's hand. Deagles for the rest. But North seem to be doing quite well. Their recent series that they've played, they've showed a much better depth of structure in the online sphere than we've seen, you know, since the sort of departure of Valide, where they really, you know, came under question. Kirby's contract was, you know, under speculation. He has you know, departed the team now, and then with Christo coming in as this filler spot, he seems to be doing somewhat of a decent job. Rating doesn't scream success, but he is playing more of a supportive role than what Kirby would. So again, this North side, you know, when you hear North, you think of the names like Valde, like Kirby, but this is a side that essentially, like MSL in his rise of career, he's back to playing with the younger talents of Christo and Gade, and you know, sure, they're getting on a little bit, but haven't been at the top flight for a long time. But we'll see what they can do to at least stabilize this T side with the force buy from Endpoint. Max overextending. First fag by Cajun. Almost good return, though. Through a smoke as well, as far as I could tell. So at least trades it back, although doesn't expect Gade as far as I can tell. Rest of the north side on the rotate, but Thomas bags the second, keeps the site secure for now.
This is going to be interesting how it develops. AZ able to keep the numbers still even, and Thomas through tower might have an angle to work with, but MSL, well, he's gonna definitely have to say no there. Robin, good reply, 2-on-2. This is a doable round, mind you. MSL though, and AZ will be able to conclude the round successfully before it gets out of hand. Already they've lost 3 players though, so that's a hefty bit of an undertaking in itself. Endpoint on the other hand though, not exactly the squeaky clean start they would have hoped for. But it's all good. It's of course going to be an eco here. 3-0 is something we do expect. North, unless they royally shoot themselves in the foot, should be a simple enough of a pickup of the round as well. And Endpoint, I'm very much eager to see what their what they're taking here will be. what their what their gun round strategy here will be. Excuse me, that's what I meant. Yeah, especially mid. Like, are they going to control mid or not? I think it's something that we do see many CT teams ignore far too many at times.
The Crucial gets on the AWP. That should be the angle that he's playing from, definitely. You know, a lot of AWPs play up toward ramp, but we've seen how vital mid is from a CT perspective with the flanks that are now available on the B site. It does open up a lot of difficulty. This time, though, full eco round should be fairly easily managed. Gage just using the smokes to his advantage. Will get away with the couple of frags to open up the round and should be a solid 3-0 start. Endpoint over the last couple of weeks, their results haven't been as strong as they would have liked them to, taking, you know, a good number of losses in best of threes. Only were able to beat Movistar Riders in, I believe, the ESL European Championships. They made it through to the semi-final, but lost to Sprout in a 2-0 best of three. A very dominant one as well, 16-4 and 16-9. Whereas North themselves, you know, they've not had the best of series, losing to Godsent, Astralis, and Heroic. But you look at the name comparison, and North playing obviously the DreamHack Masters, playing the high-level teams. This one will be more of a not reset game, but definitely where they don't have to be as pressured at the start. And with getting a 3-0 on the board, like you say, it's down to Endpoint for the gun round here to begin. They will have Crucial on that AWP, but seems like he'll be heading down to the default ramp position. Hopefully mid will be held by the rifles themselves, but a convincing start so far for North. They can take away the gun round. They will get themselves off to a brilliant beginning, but so far it is Endpoint that have a task at hand. Thomas takes some very strong damage early, though, down already to just over a third of his health left.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a hard one. Surrealistically gets out of that picky position. He almost have died there as Cristo is pushing forward. He's going to be ignoring the angle of the smoke, though, and Surreal holding that line down like a beast as he finds himself a second and the third as well. The nade connects on MSL. The North seemingly having no entry allowed to the site. Gade, yeah, good luck, man. You're gonna need a lot more than just a little bit of a strong gaze. It is gonna be first one to Endpoint. The gun round starts off magnificently, really. It couldn't be better in this case, and well, it is going to be a rebuy for North. Of course, their money, though, quite low. As we know, right? Problem being that when you lose those three players on the anti-eco or just the anti-force buy, you're always going to have a little bit of a slower or a worse standing with the economy moving forward. And let's see if North can perhaps keep up the tradition that is here in Home Sweet Home, where a team wins the gun round, then proceeds to lose five in a row moving forward.
Very common, as we know. Economy on that CT side is definitely a dangerous topic. North themselves, broken if they lose this round. Have been able to reinvest and get it the rifles and the utility on the board as well to play with, but it is down to Endpoint here to just keep this first sort of portion of the game secure. They do not want to allow North on this T side to get up to 9-10 rounds like we've seen previously. Vertigo themselves, looking at the map, their T side just slightly less performance over the distribution of one round, but it is very minuscule, a 0.8% difference over the 21 or 17 maps that they've played in the last 3 months. So quite a solid sample size to look at there, and North seeming like they do have a solid T side performance. Nades over the top from that CT side, though, blocks off ramp angle, allows Mighty Max to go a little bit closer, can get into the heart of this push now from the T side. There's the opening frag. Gade does return it nicely, though, leaving Thomas isolated beyond the smoke. The angle,
oh, Thomas!
Beautiful. The site again locked out by Endpoint. Time ticking and damage already done. Gade last alive in a 1-on-4.
That doesn't even stand a chance. Crucial locks him out before he even is given an opportunity. And this play by Thomas right here, this is just, you know, something else entirely. Thin HP left and he pulls it off like it's nothing. Second round for Endpoint. They make it look easy with that. And they certainly are starting to look solid early on the CT. As we said, we would expect them to be dominant on Vertigo, if not even winning it clearly. But North, I mean, did have a stint against Gambit Youngsters on Vertigo as well, which is perhaps a little bit of a surprise that they chose to play a best of one on Vertigo itself, given, as you said, their performance has been a little bit questionable. But this current position, we do see that North is gonna, of course, have to concede the advantage. With the tie coming through, Endpoint will be given more than enough more than an opportunity here to not only keep themselves at an advantage moving forward, but also potentially control North for the entirety of this first half. Something we've seen in the past as well. The T's, as much as they might not be as dependent on the income, still required, they still needed. An Endpoint, if they're able to keep them away from planting, if they're able to keep them away from, you know, getting any wonky rounds, North is going to have to struggle quite a little bit, and let's see how it goes.
This rebuy not even particularly that strong for them. 2 Galils plaguing the T side so far. Again, you can see, like you say, the dominance starting to at least shine in terms of confidence for Endpoint here. Thomas willing to take the peaks, Mighty Max backing him up. MSL just barely missing the corner, still gets away with the first, second from Gade as well. The worst part about that, it's not even Thomas that falls. He is still kept low on 17, so an easy kill to find potentially. They leave themselves exposed here on this A site. The rotate from Robin will come to provide the extra manpower, but in a 5-on-2 site take, or make it 4-on-2 as Christo is already rotating over toward the back of the B bomb site. The bomb will join it. Bit of an overstack, or not even an overstack, but more of a commitment that had to be made by Endpoint. North reading it well, have taken over the B site, should be getting this round locked and loaded, at least the T side. Back to winning ways so far, Endpoint. They should be looking for the save. If they can scramble Crucial's AWP, that would be even better, and that's exactly what Thomas is able to do. So this round, not going to be a lost cause. 3 rifles saved is standard. They've got the money behind them, there's no need to worry yet.
Oh, absolutely. The best part, as you said, Thomas on the op. That's a lot of cash they'll bring over. That's a lot of economy they'll be able to salvage on top of that. North, though, I gotta give it to them. I didn't expect them to be as ferocious in their attack, as quick to move in their aggression. It comes off as a little bit reckless, sure. But the reasoning behind it seems to be pretty clear, right? They want to surprise Endpoint, and they did. They did it perfectly well. Let's see if they try that again, though, and I have my doubts it's going to succeed. And then, since Endpoint, you know, you can burn them once. The second time, they'll be having some wet towels ready to extinguish the flames once it gets too hotted. Or too heated, excuse me. AZ. Solo towards yellow short. Mighty Max blinded fully. Gonna be tagged as well, and he is gonna be tagged out. As he's gonna have to say goodbyes. Gade gets splashed by Thomas through the wall, but he is still alive, and North, they secured an entry. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Pressure on, Gade already down low. And with the way that North are moving right now up toward the ramp as a dedicated unit, seems like this is the fight that they will take here in round number 8. Thomas has to be careful. Crucial does seem to want to overextend onto this angle. It might be worth the check, but no Molotov down. Oh, we'll keep North at bay for now, though. No reason to be committing through the smokes as of yet. Thomas back into this angle, checking onto the corner where he can sit on the site safely without really being spotted on that short position. Smoke fading, though. They need a flashbang if they want to challenge Crucial. Thankfully, not even needed. MSL on his way to the site. AZ gets one, but a whiff out of MSL. Traded by Thomas. Back to a 3-on-2, but look at the health of 2 of these players. Bomb will thankfully go down. They can get into the after plants, but Crucial just narrowly misses. The timing of there on that player crossing over just barely misses the arm on the way through as well. 3-on-2 retake, difficult, but manageable with the damage. They need to find kills quickly, though.
The real and crucial tough position to be in. Luckily 2 players low, so as you said, there's definitely a chance this could succeed. Good pop flash. Makes it work. Cajun B is out. It's still going to be a 2-on-2 and still time is ticking. Although Surreal and the nade, crucial, comes in with the Kobe. Secures the round and almost unexpectedly they overtake this 1-on-3 rather effectively, rather quickly. Gotta give it to them. Didn't expect that North wouldn't even be given a fighting chance, and well, 4-4 tied back up as North will be reinvesting. Timeout being called though for the Northern boys, discussing their possibilities and their chances. See if Cajun B goes for. Does he go for the op? I think he's thinking about it deeply.
Yeah. Definitely should at this point. Crucial. Needs that challenge here on the side of North. The AWP would be not just more beneficial for North, but probably more beneficial for Cajun B as well. He's on a bit of a rough start here in this game. A single kill to his name. AWP would provide that bit more of a stable factor for him. What decision do they make? Down into rifles. Fair enough. Cajun B not going to be investing, keeping a little bit of money reserved. The bank already. Fair enough. You can respect it. See what they can make of this round, though, as Endpoint able to level things off yet again, become more of a nuisance for this side of North to face. Like you said, with how close that Vertigo went against Gambit youngsters, it's kind of shocking that Endpoint give them the, or North give Endpoint the chance to play this map. In terms of, you know, sure they can win out on it, but playing it close is always a deadly way to go about a map. It can flip either way. So far, though, great entry by MSL. Catch out onto Thomas down that ramp position. He's keeping the advantage with North for now, but look at Crucial. Hungry for the information. It all depends on the timing. No. The flashbang was good. MSL commits to it. Gade in from behind as well. 5-on-2. A very clean sight take from North.
This is a little bit of a surprise because, you know, Endpoint, they seem to be liking the aggression early on, but they are supporting it very poorly. Thomas going in solo towards A ramp, even with a pop flash, it leaves you very vulnerable. And it comes as a surprise that they actually decide to only let him be the one to go for the hard aggression instead of trying to go with 3 players, as you would usually see many other teams. For example, in this case, I think the first one that comes to mind would be definitely one of the Polish, or Norderwind even, for example. Hard Legion, I don't know, we can keep it, you know, or I don't know, Salamander, for example, how they played their Vertigo map against Saw. They continuously played hard aggression towards A ramp. They had 2 or 3 players minimum playing that control, looking to take the challenge. And here, Endpoint, I would say perhaps underestimating what North can do against you if not going to be taking all the necessary precautions. So 4-5 as North take the lead back again. And, well, money is not an acute problem, but it's going to become one for Endpoint.
Bank is starting to slip. Yeah, they do need a couple round stabilizers here just to get back into this one. North are able to establish the lead yet again here. Crucial will be wielding that AWP. Interestingly, that North have completely ignored the sniper on this T side. It does show they are willing to keep banking into these rifles and play more of the versatile setup, which again is confidence brimming from a team like this. Max, though, has to be incredibly careful, but catches AZ with a nade in hand. A first kill traded, but Thomas good for the return. Oh, Crucial could not get better timing even if he asked for it. Catches the Krista in the back. MSL dead as well. Cajun B, however, does return a refrag. Will he expect the player on the back of the site, though? Of course not. Rounds traded evenly across the board right now. 5-5 tied up again. Money becoming an issue for North, or at least for a couple of their players. I'm not too sure a full rebuy is even possible for this side now.
Most likely it shouldn't, right?
I mean, 2 players had like 24, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very weak if they do decide to go for it. And, well, they do have a full buy if they go for an eco. The next round can be an investment actually worth their time. So let's find out if it's only pistols and Kevlar for the few lucky individuals with the money itself, or is it an actual investment itself? If I'd had to wager, I'd say it's pistols only. Even then, maybe limiting themselves to UP-50s. Another timeout. Already 3 timeouts before we even reach halftime. This is definitely a tiny bit of a surprise. I didn't expect North to be burning through those blocks that quickly, but seems like they have a lot to discuss, and I respect that. I hope they're able to solve whatever mystery might be, well, whatever mystery Endpoint is presenting to be for them.
I don't know if it's more of a concern or more of a benefit that they take 2 pauses in a row.
Right?
But they've
Yeah.
definitely got something undecided on this squad. They are going to go for the rebuy, though. Maybe that was the risk that they were calculating, perhaps. Full investment has been made, of course. 2 Galils, AK in the hands of Gade, the only real powerful rifle that they've got under the belt at the moment. Still, Endpoint do take away this round. Not just 6 will be secured, most likely 7 to come as well. This is where North might be put under a bit more of a strain here on this B side so far. Interestingly, mid take to come. No one watching it apart from Thomas. He has a slight angle, but Cajun B says no to that one. Great first entry. Knowing that there's a Galil on the side of this North team as well, maybe means that Endpoint are unaware of the investment. Could be AKs and Galils, could be a hero buy, but it is going to keep them on their toes at least. And smoke down Surreal. Trying to bide his time well. Beautiful nade down onto the first. Christo, good return. No, Robin gets away with 3.
Oh. That is very nice to see. Robin coming out in style, and best part, he allows Endpoint to potentially take this retake successfully. Although Christo, he will be able to shut down Mighty Max. The angle and the pop flash support that, and Crucial with an op in his hands. Oh, he knows the corner is covered, and he still takes the fight with a USPS. Unfortunately, it is not really going to give you too much of a chance. Wait, did I see that correctly? Did Christo just choose an M4A4 instead of an AWP or an AK? What alternate reality are we living in here? That is... Wow. I did not expect that. I mean, I understand that he doesn't take the AWP, but play with the M4A4. That is just blasphemy when you have an AK at choice. Wow, okay. Well. 5-6, North. They'll keep the lead. Barely, but they'll keep it.
Raping through, yeah. Endpoint now put down onto a crappy little force buy of their own as well. The economy not going to be favoring them. AWP for Crucial, but Glass Cannon, unfortunately. M4s are in play. The rest down onto pistols, however. So this is going to be, again, a more difficult round. MSL already taking out Thomas. North now realizing what is up in terms of this buy round. They'll commit toward the A side of the map, it seems, as smokes go down. Flashes and Molotovs flying through. Yeah, I was going to say, we need that molly into back of castle or back of tower, and that is exactly what they get. They'll clear the front part of the site. Robin, though, good return. The boost, however, good enough, but Robin's still alive. Finally will get shut down by MSL. Back to a 3-on-2. Christo takes out Mighty Max. And that'll be the round itself. Surreal last alive, 1-on-3. North establishing what is a solid lead so far on this T side now.
They really are, aren't they? Seemingly having no second thoughts, no problems. They are playing very tight game of CS without any signs of stopping. This is what you would expect out of North. This is, I think, exactly what we had kind of foreseen in a way. You know, North are technically the better team in that essence, but Endpoint, I mean, it's 5-7 only, so we don't need to despair yet. Obviously, there is going to be a way back into this soon enough. Question is, do they have, or will they take that chance once it comes out to be? Surreal with the op. Maybe he can make a difference. We've seen that yesterday, quite plenty of moments where the saved rifle just pulled off and burnt a new hole in the ground. I gotta give it to Forza. I didn't expect him to be taking it like that against Copenhagen Flames, but well. Surreal, good start. With another B push, Surreal will keep this at an advantage, and a little bit of damage dealt. Actually, quite a little bit of damage dealt on North. This is potentially a problem.
Good check by Gade. Might just be the heroics they needed to keep themselves in this round here. Crucial tag down low as well. The AWP only just been retrievable. Make it a lot more difficult to now enter this site. Max, however, gets away with one. Thankfully closed out. MSL, great double. Spots out the third and takes it. Triple to close the round. 8 on the board for North, and already the first half in their back pockets. A very solid site hold. Did get a little bit risky around the edges, but MSL doing what he needed to close things out. This allows the save of the AWP. You can see having no money to be able to rebuy it into this one either, so down to just the rifles, which for a player like Crucial, you know, it's manageable, but he would prefer to be on his more comfortable weapon. This is where North might start to take a lead now. Great start from Surreal, though. Gets the early one into Christu. Tagged down low. The damage is good. Somehow gets out alive there, Max. But a lot of trade-off of the health. Just no refrags for North yet.
Yeah, definitely an interesting amount of openers allowed, and without a refrag for North, they are a little bit stranded. Crucial yet to be checked. Interesting that nobody's giving him a peace of mind, as finally he chimes in as well. Doesn't get a frag necessarily, but scares North into submission. Exactly what Endpoint need to do in this case. If they put a little bit of a scare tactic in front of them, maybe they can control them a little while longer, or at least try to build up this fear and respect kind of model of play. Gate, okay. Sprays through that thin wall. Through yellow. Able to get himself one. That's an excellent return. Money, or excuse me, HP wise, it's also a problem for Endpoint. Big problem in that case.
Massive problem. Robin, seeming like they will already draft the save, unfortunately. There we go. Yeah, they'll carry the weapons over. They'll keep themselves already aligned nicely with the money. They'll be able to get a final round buy, and it will be a little bit scrappy, but saving the 3 weapons here is way more important. But North making 9 rounds on the T side. To say that it was so close at 4 and 5 and 5 and 5, that is where things really took a large turning point for North, getting themselves a solid little start on this T side. If they can guarantee double digits heading into the CT side, that is where Endpoint will face a lot of difficulty. The M4s can come out for the final round, just barely enough. Thomas will have to sacrifice down onto a lesser weapon, UMP in his hands. But either way, 9-5. Final round of the first half. If Endpoint can get away with 6, they'll be okay to move into the second. Double digits is still an issue that could come through, though. And even so, 9-6 is still a very light half for a CT team. Thomas, though, aggro with the UMP. That is what it's best for. Up close and personal, finds the early entry on occasion. At least gives them a fighting chance here in round number 15.
They desperately need to take it as well. 10-5 half would be quite disastrous for Endpoint, and given their past performances on Vertigo especially, you would have thought that, or you would have thunk that, you know, they would be strong enough to take it at least up to 6-7 rounds minimum. But let's see how this works. Let's see how this goes. As Christo be playing a little bit more passively towards the T-base. Surreal, though, patiently awaiting. And patience is a virtue. Unfortunately, he will be caught by Gate. Still Robin to reply as Christo gets caught. Playing solo, like I said, leaves him vulnerable. And Gade, he needs to make a decision now. Bomb is yet to be retrieved as far as I can tell. And in the end, it will never be retrieved in the first place. Robin closes it out. 9-6, as I said, it's better. It's definitely, you know, a good sign that they're not going to be giving up that early, but this is still a very, very poor showing out of Endpoint. From what we expected to what we're getting, big difference. First half, gone already.
Yes, North having quite the advantage moving into second half. T-side, very good performance and getting away with 9 rounds against the side like Endpoint, who very regularly punish on this CT side on Vertigo, is a very good number to move into the second half with. You can see that Mighty Max, you know, having a little bit of a quiet game. He is the IGL of the squad though, so you can't take that away from him. He is at least leading the squad, but again, you can even tell kills are, you know, somewhat down on the side of North. You know, Cajun B on only 4, AZ on 6. You know, there's no massive fraggers in terms of differential across the two sides. North just being very tactical with their rounds. Endpoint being tactical with their saves, at least. Wanting to take weapons into the next rounds. But Endpoint, we shall see. T-side, it has to be pristine. North, if they take the pistol round, they're on an uprise to at least a potential 11, 12, and 6, which with North and their momentum so far that they've gained might be a bit of a killer for them, but we'll see. Endpoint on this T side. Mighty Max into utility. Same for Robin. They've got a tactical air about them, but look at North. Triple nade stack and a pistol. I like where this is going.
Oh yeah, they might just be reading so well into this that it gives them excellent idea as to what is coming next. AZ, he does get tagged, but the rotation's already close by. 2 players joining the fray. Surreal, though, still finds himself one. Nade preemptively being thrown. Doesn't really change the outcome. Gade is going to be holding this tight corner that is quite pre-fireable, but there's a boost coming on top as Cajun B finds himself one through connector, being able to even the odds. This 4-on-4 retake will not be easy, though. We see Endpoint is going to be battling it down to the last man and down to the last number. Close range. Thomas. Oh, never mind. Doesn't help him. Christo and Cajun B instantaneously shut it out. And it's down to Mighty Max and Robin to make sure that this round does not fail.
All down to Robin now. Diffuse already completed, unfortunately. They'll get away with the kill to finish things off as well. 10-6 North. Very convincing retake as they capture the pistol round. That is 2 out of 2. Vertigo, both of them going in their favor. Getting away with 2 very, very important rounds. Endpoint, however. Endpoint looking to drag themselves back in. They need to start this T side well. Quadruple nade stack up toward the top of ramp. It's a nice idea. This time completely avoiding all damage whatsoever on the side of North. With the eco round, there is going to be a buy in the next at least. They aren't going to be sacrificing any further forces. They won't be infringing on their investments. Ristu does take a P250 think through the smoke as far as I could tell. But MSL opens up for the first. Cajun B gets away with the second. Kills coming through as quick as that right now. It's a real nice headshot to trade it back. But a 4-on-2 to play. Should be round number 11 for North before Endpoint do bring the big guns out.
Pretty much so, yeah. One thing I'm happy to see is Endpoint not investing every single penny into this one. It does give them perhaps, well, not perhaps, but it definitely gives them the chance to at least keep the overall position of North still at bay, if I can say so. And we gotta keep in mind that North, if they win the next gun round that's going to be coming up, they're putting themselves up to 12, 13 rounds without doubt, and that all of a sudden becomes a very scary precedence being set, as Endpoint might not have enough energy to answer it just yet. Thing is, Endpoint have looked a little bit shaky here. They've had a few moments where they shined brighter than a diamond, but definitely had a few where they were a little bit under the weather by the looks of it. 11-6. Gade will close the gap, and This is the gun round I was speaking about. This is where North will have an opportunity to not only double their current position compared to Endpoint, but also dominantly show why they should be considered as the better team in this series. As this gun round will prove exactly that. Endpoint, let's see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, the one saving grace for Endpoint here right now is that at least North are playing a bit more of a bonus round. They've not invested into the M4s, keeping the FAMASs from the previous one, but again, it is just going to force them to play a little bit more defensive. Easy. Ooh, might just be just clear of that smoke. The spray will come through, but it is a nice trade at least. Cajun B close on the corner, does get shut down by Robin. With those FAMASs, you cannot afford to peek into the line. Gade, however, good response, but only good for one. 3 on 2 as that B bomb site is lost. Should be enough to win the round already, although got their final 2 players now on upgraded rifles. MSL nearly lines them up. Ooh. Blenching moment, still up for debate as they find the first, but Robin able to return it back. 11 and 7, the gun round does go in the favor of Endpoint. Quite the expensive one, but it is a round at least that kicks off.
Well, it's vital they were able to at least grab it, like you said. Does put a little bit of pressure onto Endpoint still with their economy now in the dirt. There's always danger of losing their next one, and, you know, we always know how that usually goes. AZ, look at this aggressiveness from him. He seems to have been read, or at least they seem to have realized this, and he just takes an aggressive stance himself and just tries to be the hero. I am not particularly sold on that. And, well, serves them right for being a bit too, how to say best would be, cocky in this regard. North,
Yeah.
like, you have barely any weapons to fight a fully equipped team. You should be taking every single chance you have in taking advantageous positions, and, well, that by AZ wasn't exactly an advantageous play. He had a good position to work with, but he decided to waste it by going blindly shooting into the smoke. He might have, like, he definitely had seen the shadow and the outline of a player, but you don't know how many players there are. You don't know how many close to that position there are, and you risk it all by trying to get a single frag. I don't think that's really going to work it here.
Especially with the impact that it's had on the round, unfortunately. 5 kept alive for Endpoint. North completely shunted out, a single M4 save to come, but it is round number 8 on the board for Endpoint. 9 should be coming as well here, as they will have to take an eco. This is no wonder that these Vertigo games for North have been going close. Some mistakes that really allow their opponents right back into the game. Bear in mind as well that North got off to a great start with the pistol. They were able to at least uprise into the first 2 rounds, but for the back of this, it's been Endpoint so far that in the rifle rounds have looked the more convincing. Pistols are in order. North have invested somewhat. Both Gade and Cajun B dropping incredibly down in terms of their economy, but thankfully round loss bonus is generating. But Endpoint, they should be making this one a lot closer here, bringing the scoreline to just a 2-round barrier. And on a map like Vertigo, it's going to go close. You can feel with the way that this game is going, most Vertigo games are 16-10 plus either way, but this one got that air about it that there is no decided winner as of yet. AZ on the corner, though. Okay, gets away with 2. Great couple of entries. Thankfully, Crucial finishes him off. Damage done to 2 as well, but round still up for debate with the smokes down here.
Oh, Surreal, that smoke is a little bit wide. Might give a gap, might give a chance here to North. Let's find out if that's the case, though. As it is going to be a 3-on-3. As you said, damage has been dealt. Surreal will find another. And that is vital. MSL, this is the gap. You know, this is the problem. Okay. That is a bit of a saving grace there. The angle could have worked out a lot differently and a lot worse. Gade still gets it. Still pulls it back into a 2-on-2. This is not over yet. Gade! Where is he getting the angle with? I would love to have seen that, but never mind you, never mind me. Thomas is down to a 1-on-1. Thomas, the tank engine. Let's see if you can bust your way through a wall here, and I think certainly the answer might just be yes. MSL cannot clutch it, and Thomas... Whew, That was cutting it very close, Endpoint. I am not exactly sure how the hell Gate gets away with both frags there. But there must have been an angle where the smoke had just a bit of vision through to that corner, and it gave him effectively almost the round.
Yeah, thankfully doesn't come up clutches, but very close to. Endpoint, thankfully, will be able to keep themselves afloat here in this one. Thomas doing what was necessary, but you can see, yeah, North, with the rebuy that they took into the previous round, they've had to go for yet another eco. So Endpoint should be on their way up to round number 10 here. Doubt that this is really too much of a hassle for them to close out this type of round. And sure, North have a little bit of utility. They've got the smokes ready to be deployed if necessary. This should be double digits for the T side. Bristow drops the smoke, keeps himself safe. Thomas already good for the peak, though. Guarantees the early frag. Start of the round. The rest of the Endpoint side committing up towards A now. AZ trying to be the smoke criminal yet again. See what he can find. The bomb will not be planted yet. Bit of a fake out. AZ somehow still alive in this corner as well. Finally, Crucial will get the job finished. 5 on 2. That will be the round. 10 on the board for Endpoint. And finally, a buy round coming up for North. The double eco extending the run of rounds just a little bit, but they want to guarantee a good investment. This one could even guarantee another frag or so, but yeah, there we go. Robin cleaning things up. Double digits for Endpoint. It's the next gun round that really decides what happens for North here, though.
Seem to be slacking off a little bit, sleeping with their trousers on. Not looking too sweet. At 11-10, North is definitely having to rethink a few vital choices they've been making. One of them, I think, is definitely the aggression, or therefore lack of aggression, towards A ramp. And we see MSL will be taking a different stance towards B stairway. Looks like North will be going exactly for that. The aggression now towards A ramp. Mighty Max tagged heavily. But Thomas, he's made his way through yellow. Surely they will be aware of that. Surely they're going to be paying attention to this. Well, the answer seems to be nope, not even close. Luckily, Gate is there to respond. And AZ, he was able to somehow find Mighty Max in the commotion. As North succeed in picking up... Ooh! Picking up the advantage. Crucial with a little bit of a miss and hit. But it's MSL. Still trying to control this best he can. Blinded. Molly doesn't work. Lucky him. Doesn't matter though. Surreal comes across with the frag. Oh, Surreal. Whew. Dirty dancing. And we're back to a 2-on-3.
Beautiful nade as well. Tags on to Gade. And second one comes in as well. Gets it finished. Crucial spots AZ's head over the top of the smoke. 11-11. Gun round. Again, not working at all for North here. Starting to become very, very difficult now here in this first map. Eco round to be taken yet again. We do remember, of course, the side of North. They've only got a single tactical pause to get themselves back into this game. They expended 3 of them in the first 10 rounds, so they take attack. It has to be dire. It has to be vital for this. And oh, Robin. Good little tap. Gets away with 2 of the first kills. The eco so far not being fruitful whatsoever. MSL inside of the smoke, trying to play off of the back of Thomas here. Maybe see if he can find anything for free, but this should be Endpoint. The first time in a long time, establishing a lead so far here on this map. 12-11. North in these gun rounds. It's scary that so far they aren't looking as decisive as they did on the T side. It's Endpoint that are really taking over, and it's North now that look like they are beginning to slack. Gate on this corner. Does get away with a freebie. This corner very rarely checked these days now that the site has been changed. But at least could be an AK saved into the next round. A 4-on-2 though. Endpoint should be on their way to a lead.
Well, that is certainly going to be the case, or at least looks to be the case. A little bit of a distinct lead to be formed, as well as compared to the fact this was 11-6, folks. At one point in time, it was 11-6. So that in itself should be scary enough for anybody on the side of North to kind of think about. You know, given that it was such a distinct advantage they had pulled up. Now having to work against a deadlier opponent that they've ever met in this first map. Mighty Max and Thomas survived, sure. A little bit of money lost here and there, but they don't care. Endpoint 12-11, North. They better start working this one out. There's a lot of leaks that they have to fix, and MSL on the op hasn't really been as proactive, one could say. Just holding B is not gonna cut it. You need to be a bit more dynamic, and well, he's gonna be trying to hold middle itself now. Supported by Cajun B.
Should be good enough, and I say should, but crucial. Step ahead of the game, MSL does fire the shot, but just does not connect this time. Robin gets away with the second onto AZ. This is starting to look dire right now for North. Cajun B rotating over will provide the extra support, but crucial, he's got the angle. As soon as Cajun B goes for the peek, has his rifle out, might be in with a chance. Christu, though, gets away with a double. Drops the bomb inside of mid. They do spot out Cajun B, and, well, there we go. Isolates him on the back of the bomb site. 13-11. And Endpoint, they are really starting to punish. North's mistakes have been too paramount. They've let Endpoint right back into this game, and again, the money's slacking. It's going to have to be another eco, and Endpoint on their way very quickly to map point. And there's the timeout, the final one expended. I said it had to be a vital one, and it definitely, at this point, it most certainly is.
If nothing else, it feels like it. And yeah, this has been a bit of a mishap by North. They had a distinct advantage brewing, but they allowed themselves to be a bit too, again, cocky, I guess is the word we could use. And they paid a high price for it. Let's see if they can perhaps remedy that and maybe make the, well, try to change the outcome, change the current heading they're going towards. We do see that Gade with the M4A4 can drop another way if they decide that, you know, maybe that's something they want to do, but it's going to limit them so much that it would be a foolish endeavor to even attempt something like that. Gade, pop flashes inside mid. I love it. This will allow perhaps for a bit more control to be exerted. Robin blinded fully and will be dropped quickly as Cajun B and Gade and the rest of the team supports that push. Gade finds the second, the M4 finally coming together, but Crucial is like, hello, pulls out the P250 and says goodbye, good night, as B site is under attack.
We're going to try and worm his way into this B site. Support will be coming in slowly but surely. Doesn't matter though, because Crucial already clearing out the angle. Bomb will be planted. SL burning in the fire, so maybe sound cue potentially given away, but I think he might have just been clear. The angle held by Thomas, though, already good for one. Cajun B, beautiful response. Oof, tag comes in, but not enough to definitively get the kill itself. Crucial. Has to be careful. Dips and dives around the corner, though. Gets a 4K from the round itself. Expensive, but it's a victory for Endpoint. They've got cash behind them. It was North that had to convert that round, but unfortunately, last buy round potentially. They lose this and Endpoint, they're on map point already.
I loved how Crucial played this. Just so sexy to watch him move around the corner here. It's very beautiful, very clean almost. And well, we are gonna have, as you said, the series map point coming up if North do not do something about this. Cajun B refrags the loss of MSL. That's the op down though, and that's a problem. That's a big problem because North so far, every time MSL got caught, they would be left wide open and wounded almost. The real. That looked like the nade could be going direct for his face. Lucky that that's not the case. There's Endpoint. Seem to be committing towards B in the end though. At least the way they've been setting this up. It almost certainly feels like it's a B hit, excuse me. North. The response, though, a little bit wonky. Then again, Endpoint pushed it a little bit wonkily as well.
He does finish the job, but a bit more of an open round here. Poke down. Max not yet aware of the player on the back of the site. Easy. It's the angle. There it is. Thomas, good return, though. Keeping this one open for business. 40 seconds on the clock. Still going to have this side ready and raring to take over on this B-bomb site. Crucial looking. See what he can find. Crossover is good, though. Christou holding it. That should be the round itself confirmed, although it is Crucial we're on about here. JWP prowess good enough. He's got 3 bullets in the chamber. 15 seconds on the clock. It is doable. We'll go for the plant. Commits to it as well. Molotov keeps them behind the boxes already. The peek out from Crucial. Spots the second. There it is. With this man, we know what he can do, and he comes up big again. Map point for Endpoint.
What a clutch moment here by Crucial. A 1-on-2 that he's able to pull back from the clutches of doom almost. And, well, that is what you came out to see, boys, and that's what you're getting. Endpoint, as you said, map point. Who would have thought North is struggling quite a little bit here? They have yet to pick up a single round after the pistol, and that is definitely cause for concern. Thomas, double, and I mean, sure, MSL gets the return, although let's be openly fair here for a second. That is not exactly the best amount of refrags coming through. Cajun B is about to walk into the crosses of Robin. Of course he is, and well, we all know how this goes now. 4v2, let's see MSL and Gade. Not like they can't pull it back, but this is going to be extremely difficult, to say the least.
Isolated on the back of the bomb site. Surreal tries to commit through the flashbang. This time doesn't pay dividends. Still down to MSL, but Robin gets things done, closes out the map, and Endpoint. Third time's the charm. The third time that they play Vertigo against North, they find a victory. 16-11, map 1. Their own map pick goes in their favor.